everyone.
Good morning.
I actually did my nails for this one.
I love it. Hello, welcome everyone. My name is EmilyHanhan, and tonight I am with two of my friends. You all might know both people, but Audra is home, aka Audra is sweating, is my regular Thursday night partner in crime or whatever. But we also have Thorn, another dear friend of ours, and we are continuing on from last week's stream on Audra's channel, which was so much fun.
It was.
And we were like, I've had a lot of ideas for streams and other video topics, but I was like, I can't decide. And then Audra's like, why don't we just carry on from last week? And I was like, oh, well, let me see if Thorn can actually be here, because I said I want Thorn here when we do this conversation, and they are here.
And then
So
I did say when I'm not at the dentist, but I didn't expect it to be literally right after having my wisdom tooth removed. My face is literally still swollen. I'm here with my nails done and my bruises covered. I'm ready.
You look amazing. You look amazing.
You're doing one on the topic that I can't shut up about, so you're stuck with me.
I love it. Okay, so first of all, I want to welcome everyone that's here right now with us live. Welcome to anyone in the chat, all of our lurkers. I see you all. I'm not going to go through the roundabout of names because my brain can't handle it right now. We're having a day. But thank you all for being here. Thank you to all of the mods who keep this a really safe space and do great work. I just remember I need to pin a comment. I'm going to do that while we're doing our intro, but I just thought about that. And thank you to all of the patrons and members of both of our channels. I also wanted to say all of Thorn's information is linked in the description box. You should go check it out. The only thing I didn't link, which I mean to, is they have a Patreon. But go check out their social media.
I was about to say thank you to all two of my patrons.
Wait. I just needed it. Yes, I'll go find it and be there.
Yeah.
There are a few ways to find it.
Oh no, she's got it's in the I'll find it.
We'll get it linked up.
Yeah, Emily will get it linked and then I'll find it and it'll. I got you.
Yeah, we got it. So if you weren't here for last week's live stream on Audra's channel, we talked about media that made us gay, media that helped us realize who we are, and very quickly we realized cartoons and animated things need to be a whole other stream, because just like one after another was brought up, and while we definitely could have done it as one stream, there was enough to do two. And Thorn has the passion. I was like, yes, I want you on, because whenever somebody is passionate about something, that's my favorite thing. That's I like talking about things I'm excited about. I love listening to Audra talk about stuff they're excited about. Thorn as well, everyone. So we're talking about cartoons, animated characters that made us gay, whether it's comic books, cartoons, movies, TV shows. Did I miss things? Manga? I don't know. Just anything that's drawn, anything that's not a
I have a
human
multiple
person.
page long Google document.
You do. I saw it and I was super excited.
But also, I love this comment from Aaliyah that I can't highlight because of the way I have it open. It says, "I'm a simple person. I see Grell and I click."
Yes.
See, I told you having her in the thumbnail instead of me was actually a good decision. I wasn't even joking.
If you saw the thumbnail, so the thumbnail features Grell, Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Jessica Rabbit, which perhaps maybe were all choices of ours.
I've cosplayed two of those. I'll let you guess which two.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh. Well, would you... I'm going to let Audra or Thorn start, because I... guests.
Listen, Thorn's gonna have to start because I'm becoming a patron. Okay.
Oh, if I start, I'm gonna get through all 3 pages before anybody else says a word. I'm gonna have to save Grell for last, or you're not gonna get able to say anything. I divided it into 90s cartoons and 2000 cartoons, but one of the 90s cartoons is actually from 2003, 2002. It's Cartoon Network Studios didn't exist into the 2000s, right? But Does anyone here remember whatever happened to Robot Jones? Because this might be so niche that I'm the only person here who knows what the heck it is.
I don't remember that.
It
sounds familiar, but I don't remember. I'm gonna have to.
It started airing in 2002.
It looks cute, but I don't think I ever saw it.
So the titular character is a robot. Could also, I'm just gonna say, it could also be taken as a really ham-fisted metaphor for autism or ADHD, depending on how you look at it.
Okay.
Like every episode is about Robot Jones like learning a new thing about people. So a lot of it is like focused on stuff you would deal with as a new teenager, like a tweenager. I think they're in middle school. There is an episode literally titled Gender where everything just goes absolutely sideways, and it's really funny rewatching it as an adult, because I literally this morning revisited this to make sure I had everything together right. The thing that really stood out to me though is, so throughout the episode they're sort of like poking fun at gender roles. They're building up to this where like their elective classes, a boy gets put in home ec and then everybody's laughing at him, and then Robot Jones gets put in home ec and everyone's like, oh, this is hilarious. And another thing I forgot to mention, they literally like hyped girls up to be like monsters just briefly before this. So Robot Jones is now terrified of girls and is going into home ec class, and turns out to be really good at sewing and some other shit. I just watched it this morning. It's like, and I'm already forgetting things. But so like Robot Jones turns out to be really good at all these like very domestic tasks, starts helping the girls in the class, straight up gets called a girl. And there's like this moment. The music stops, the screen like flashes blue, and the words "Am I a girl?" pop up on the screen, and like there's this moment. And so right away it's already like, this has big trans energy and I don't know what to do.
I'm like taken aback just listening to you talk about this.
It escalates. It gets more intense. The students, like the classmates, literally start fighting over what gender binary Robot Jones is, like pulling back and forth. It's a whole tug of war thing. And then the episode literally ends like, oh, it turns out that boys and girls are literally the same. And I'm like, as a tiny, tiny child, that conclusion definitely did things to my mind. Like, yes. Oh, gender is a farce.
Things took place.
The end. Gender is a performance.
Like, I'm thinking about that. If that was like 2003-ish, even whatever age I would have been then, that would have like, I still would have been like, what?
It was right about when the GameCube came out. So I know I was small, but not that small.
Yeah.
So I was like just old enough to like internalize this message.
Oh, I love that. I know. I'm going to go track that down.
So I highlighted the things on my notes. This is one of the ones I highlighted as good representation because it's so wholesome. And the conclusion is also like surprisingly, I know they didn't mean it to be super trans, but it was super trans.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's...
Because I think if they do it in a way that's like, especially if you're not super well versed, or you just are not, if you're not super well versed in like being trans or having friends or family that are trans, I feel like you could like see that and kind of just like skip over it. So it feels a little like a subversive like writer's moment where they're like, we're going to put this in and see if anybody in higher ups notice it, and nobody did.
It was definitely very much like gender roles are just a bunch of nonsense. And
yeah,
that's an important step. I'm gonna mention a metaphor before moving forward. And I just want to point out, cis people should not use this metaphor. Please do not adopt this language. But like an egg cracking refers to specifically a trans feminine person discovering that they're trans. I learned recently that I was using it wrong as a trans person because like it's a pun. When an egg hatches, you get a chick. That flew over my head. But that's where the egg cracking metaphor came from. So, like, I can imagine being like a tween watching the show and just a little nick in the shell there.
I can just imagine the shell, like
hatched, but
like just a crack forming, like a little breakage. That's amazing. That
and
makes
again,
me so happy.
I literally have a video drafted that's not finished yet called Grell Cracked My Egg, but I might need to change the title.
See, like, you have this fabulous story, and I'm just like, Thundercats. Hear me out.
Thundercats.
Lino. Yeah. They also had like a whole, like they did a whole chant together, like thunder, thunder, Thundercats. Ho! They all got like really excited. They were all like weirdly muscular. They had a dog, like a cat dog, like it didn't make sense. But like there was something about Lionel.
You have people in the chat that are with you. Like
everyone in Thundercats was so fit.
Yes, like
you know.
And see, that's like the opposite of what I like. Like I know because I just had to quickly Google it, which Google is already noticing. Like they're like, oh, what happened to Robot Jones and Thundercats? And I'm like, no, we're not. No, but anyway, I recognize the visual. And I was like, oh yeah, no, that's like the opposite of my. But go ahead, Audra.
Oh yeah, I was saving the adult stuff for the end, like building up.
Yeah, I just
Skeletor. Okay, Yolanda's right. Skeletor had the best gay villain laugh.
Skeletor did. I just feel like there was something about like how all of the cats, like there's this picture right here. There's Chitara, and it's just like look at them. That is like some serious queer energy. Like straight up, like they have all this makeup on their little faces. I know it's supposed to be like they're cats, but
it's like the musical Cats, which I'm gonna say is still big queer energy.
Thank you. Like they're all riding around. Most of them don't really have on pants. Like
no, they have that like.
Everybody wears a leotard.
Like, you know that 80s fitness video leotard leggings?
Yes.
They're dressed like a fitness tape.
They are.
Like I can hear this.
Right. They were not.
These cats were not. Ooh, somebody said Optimus Prime was their first crush. Same. Like not first, but like I feel you on Optimus Prime.
Cats, but somehow gayer.
Exactly. That doesn't even make sense. But like how these cats were like gayer than like the show cat, but they just were.
They were.
Like they had like
the superpower energy.
Because like they would often just like not even be like, see, look at this. Look at all of them. They're not wearing any tops.
Yeah.
Like
they have like all these accessories, but also no clothes, which is very much a mood.
I'm
like, I will wear all the jewelry and nothing else.
Very spicy, but I have seen fursuiters wearing more clothes than that.
Thank you.
Yes,
I would agree.
Yes,
I would definitely agree.
You know what?
This is the stream where people learn things about me.
Well, you know what? It's just quick. Okay, so the first thing that popped into my head is what I use in my thumbnail, which is Jessica Rabbit from the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I looked up. It came out in 1988. I probably saw it. So I probably saw it in the like age range of like 5 to 8. Because it was like 4 when it came out. I probably saw it at a really young age. And then I saw it a billion times. And it's like the comedy, the everything. But Jessica Rabbit, who is a rabbit, but also is a feminine form that I still don't have words.
Well, the surname is like legally.
Yeah, she was like married to Roger, and she was still a person.
Roger Rabbit.
But I thought there was.
I'm sorry, I was like really into that movie as a kid because my brother and I were both artists. And
yes,
like at the time I still wanted to work in the animation industry.
Yeah.
And then I experienced the animation industry and I was like, never mind.
No, but the way that movie combined animation and like film, like, you know, movie, I love it. But just like
groundbreaking.
groundbreaking.
So here's the thing though. Does anybody not remember when they rolled up and they thought it was Jessica Rabbit and that wild ass thing turns around and goes, "Oh man!" That I don't know why. I cannot explain it. There was something about that wild energy.
This is why we are friends. Like there was this like wild energy about that movie, but like just that specific moment, I have to rewatch it. I definitely have to rewatch it. And you know what? I think I also let my internet brain intertwine with my movie brain because I have seen cosplayers do a more rabbit version of Jessica Rabbit. And it was
still have Lola Bunny too.
And it was still like I need to excuse myself. So Lola Bunny didn't really do as much for me, but yeah.
I wasn't into Lola Bunny, but
no.
If you were, you know, good
there's
on
something
you.
about the comedy
I see someone mentioning David the Gnome in the comments. And I'm just like, congratulations on knowing what that is. You were like the second person I've ever seen talk about David the Gnome.
So I Google it.
This is so cute.
It's super cute.
How the gnomes would rub noses together as a greeting. I loved how they would get close and there wasn't any toxic masculine energy. Yes, MJ. I love anytime you could, like, for me, anytime I could see any masculine energy that wasn't toxic, it made me very happy.
It's super wholesome.
Oh, Bugs Bunny and drag. Okay. Thank you, Casey.
So I have a question, and Thorn, you might be too young, but I'm definitely going to ask you because I don't know if a lot of people know this. Okay, there's a movie. It's called Rainbow Bright and the Star Stealer. All right.
Rainbow Bright was everything. Still is.
I first watched that when I was 21, but go on.
Is there not a relationship between Rainbow Bright and I can't remember her name?
There's an energy.
There's definitely the energy. Yes.
They're like,
Emily, I see you got the water bottle that I like.
Yes, like giant,
like the
giant water bottle. Yeah, and I have the sippy top that's for kids, which is pretty good. But it's
right. The one for children is so much better than the one for adults. I'm offended.
Thorn is a expert with the water bottles and did not lead me astray with
for context, I'm a nature photographer, so I need something that I can like beat the living daylights out of and just hang off of my equipment and not worry about it not working.
I beat up everything.
The insulation fails on some water bottles, the double walled. If you hit them too many times, and you can even see a big old dent in this one, and it still works.
Oh, my little sponsored. Yeah, I know. I wish.
The only reason I was asking because it was like Rainbow Bright and Stormy. That's it.
Well, that's the thing.
And they were like battling, and they both were like, and they had big ass heads. Like, come on,
that's like gay identity in a tea. Like, it doesn't actually matter if there was something there. There was something there.
There was though, because they would like get like.
I had a Rainbow Bright piggy bank for like 20 years of my life, and like. I'm saying like I was like a good 25 when I finally like let it go. That's how much Rainbow Bright like
heartbreaking. Why?
Because moving, you don't have to take everything. So yeah, I don't know if there's like this. I mean, I saw it on TikTok, which is how I start a lot of things these days. But it's like this feeling of like if you think something is headcanon, it is. Like if there's a character that you love and you feel like they're trans, they are. Or if they're gay, they are. And it's like it's very much about like this doesn't replace representation, but it's also like whatever, it's all made up.
I will say the only argument I have against that is that headcanons that take away representation, which you know exactly who I'm about to talk about in a few minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead.
That's true.
I want to hear now.
Go for it.
Just go for it. I'm ready.
Take the floor.
Okay. Before I say anything, you know that I love you because of the fact that I'm talking about Black Butler with you, because I do not talk about this problematic hot mess of a show with anyone. Like, I'm not recommending that people watch it. Nothing positive I am about to say about Black Butler should be taken
as an endorsement.
Not an endorsement. This is a show that was airing during my formative years. Like, let me poke something on my screen really quickly. I am currently scrolled up to the Powerpuff Girls on my list, which is not the right place to be. Don't get me started. That one's actually listed under bad representation. We can talk about that later. But
yes.
Black Butler started airing right about the time I was like maybe somewhere between 11 and 13. I can't remember. I'm not going to do the math. I'm too tired. But like I was like a teenager. I was literally at the age where most people start figuring out like, oh shit, I'm trans. And one of the first few episodes, Grell pointedly corrects someone on her pronouns, and I was just like, oh shit, you can just do that? Like, you can just tell people your gender and it's fine? Okay. And I will say, number one criticism, her only character traits are horny and violent in the show. And
that's not a good thing.
The television series is really bad. The comic. So, after criticism from a lot of feminists, like Grell kind of disappeared from the comics for a while, and when she came back, she had like more personality beyond being extremely thirsty.
beyond being thirsty. By Annabelle.
There are real people who are like that. We're not going to go there because representation written by cis people should not be like that. But like in the television series, my problem is that she's like constantly used for comic relief. Like she's misgendered by literally every other character. You always see her getting hit, beaten for a laugh. But like there are positives. Again, do not take anything positive I say about this character as a reason to watch the show. You will be miserable or confused, maybe slightly
aroused.
It's slightly aroused.
All three?
Yes, maybe all three. But like number one, in general, Grell almost always corrects people without hesitation with regards to her gender. She has a temper, but she's like not miserable. She enjoys existing, which is like something I had never seen with a trans character before. And the other thing is she's not a teenager. She's like adult age. There's no way she's a day under 30, by the way. Do not tell me she's in her mid-20s. She is above 30 and we all know it. But like that's the thing. She's not a teenager. All the trans representation I had seen before that was sad, teenaged, and just angst. No confidence, no outward anything. And then Grell's just like, I am a woman, don't say otherwise, and also murders a few people, but that's...
it's like,
you know what, Thorn?
Don't say otherwise, I will demolish you.
Don't even worry about it, because I like Ryuk from Death Note.
Oh, goodness. Death Note.
Listen, first of all, Death Note does not get enough love, and like for me, I love Death Note, love it, loves it. If I had a Death Note, anyways, we don't need to think about the things that I would do with my own personal Death Note.
Just know that it's a very rich and explored thought in Audra's brain.
Very much attracted to that demon.
Can I just also say the age that I watched Black Butler at was probably completely inappropriate? Because like the first episode, they put someone in an oven and bake him to death. It's a horror series, by the way. It's a horror comedy.
See, now you're getting me more interested in it because you said horror comedy, and I'm like, I know this is going to be terrible.
If you like cheesy garbage horror and you can stomach the problematic elements, like it's something to watch while wasted with friends. I'll say that it's a hoot and a half if you're making fun of it.
Okay.
And I think the interesting thing, like you said, is like talking about how she was like, for you at least, obviously above 30 and had the guts to just correct people and be like, no, I'm a woman. Like, I think especially to be a
without missing a
teenager
beat.
and to
There was
see
no
that,
hesitation.
yeah, that's really cool, because even if it's terrible, there are so many like bits of that show that stuck with you in positive ways.
Yeah,
and we all
it's
have
a reminder of
problematic
like
things.
One of the
like
reasons
the
that I'm
kissing
on
booth,
YouTube,
which is terrible. Like, it's not a good movie. Like, it's drivel, but the way that they treated the like gay characters in there, where instead of it being like, oh, and like fighting and getting beat up and like any of that, it was like he finally decides to ask him out and he accepts, and it's very warm and sweet, instead of like the normal sad, like, I'm gay and nobody likes it that I'm gay and like my life is miserable. Like, I love that kind of representation, like the more like we're regular ass people representation, instead of it being like we're just always depressed. Like, maybe I am, but like, damn, I would like to live in a fantasy world where I am not.
I can also be depressed in other things. That's also part of it.
Thank you.
Like, is the corset scene worth discussing, or
it's a reason not to watch the television series for sure.
Okay.
The television series
the glasses, Audra. There's something about you putting them on as talking about a corset
Let me just
scene.
I didn't think we were gonna go there because it wasn't in my notes. I should have known better. There are multiple scenes in the Black Butler television series that kind of that kid is 13, but okay, it's not okay. It's
yeah.
As soon as you said 13,
I was like, oh no.
I have to admit, now that I'm an adult and I know better than I did when the series was airing on television and everything, like, I get a creepy vibe off the person that made it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
that's relatable.
Her art is gorgeous, but good Lord, she is Bad News Bears.
See, and like, I had gotten away. So here's the thing. I gotta tell y'all, I dropped out of anime for a really long time, specifically because I came from Japan, and I watched these cartoons in their original form. And when I got here, and I was so excited when they were bringing Dragon Ball Z over. When I tell you, I turned it on and I was like, what is this garbage? What happened? Because the Dragon Ball Z I grew up with was like violent. It was very violent and intense.
The topic of original form.
Yes.
Can we talk about Sailor Moon?
Yes.
I knew Sailor Moon would be a discussion.
I've got notes on Sailor Moon. I also promised someone that I told to watch this that I would talk about Sailor Moon.
Get it? Because
I found something out while doing my research on this because I wanted to make sure that I didn't remember anything wrong. I did not rewatch the entire show like I did rewatch a few episodes of the other shows I have on my notes. But so in Sailor Moon in North America, the English dub aired produced by Deke. Basically, Haruka and Michiru are lesbians. Like,
yes!
they are very much in lesbians. They are gay. They are gay as pink ink.
Yes.
As someone much older than me would say. But in Russia, they changed Haruka to a man who transforms into a woman to battle. And I'm like, you just made that a different flavor of queer. You didn't fix anything.
I was like, I feel like you like took the queer and just like made it more complicated. Like, you were like, we don't like this. We're just going to make it even
in an
queer.
effort to hide the queer representation. They made it more queer in some ways.
Yeah. Because like
also, all the swatches are still on my arm from when I did my face.
I love it.
I know,
also, I have to admit that I never have really watched anime, including Sailor Moon. So I'm just here to like enjoy the conversation.
Said lesbians, not cousins. No one would die for their cousins. Yes! Me.
I have one cousin I would die for. The other, like 30 of them, no.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yes, different flavor of queer.
Yes.
Yeah, different flavor.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
Wait.
I'm gonna let
Sorry,
your hand off.
Steffi. Excuse me. This is. If you love yourself and want to watch the show dub, do yourself a favor and watch the Latin American dub. I don't care if you don't speak Spanish. You might have activated me to finally watch Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, because like it's hard. Like it's weird because it's hard to find it.
In Texas for a while, it was really easy to find it, like because like Mexican DVDs would be in the city that I grew up in, and that's how we got a lot of our anime. Was specifically Mexican and Malaysian DVD releases of stuff that they didn't release in the US.
Yeah, because I feel like it had to be around 03 or 04 where it got really difficult at that point to get a hold of it.
I think I watched Trigun with Malaysian subtitles, which, like, if you speak Indonesian, then you can understand enough of Malaysian that's fine. Like, fun fact. Like, they're more similar than English and Spanish are.
I just love, like, just like accidentally renting the Spanish dub.
Your hand just slipped.
Just happened to pick up. Oh, that was the wrong. But this is better.
I feel like I was always into like creatures and things that were like evil. Like, so okay, Space Ghost. You know that like mean ass praying mantis?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Please don't judge me.
No. When you're done talking about this, I will go into the weird things that popped into my head that will definitely show weirdness. But yes, the praying mantis from like, Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Space Ghost, specifically Coast to Coast on Adult Swim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's because like I'm not nice. I'm not a nice person. I believe it's like Zorak. He was
Zorak
such an asshole, and he was just always like, it was like the look on his face was always the same, no matter what happened.
He always gave me the tingles. I don't know of which variety, but it did.
Listen, I'm probably about to start doing a react series just to Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
No, I think Brak was a different character. I think Zorak was the angry mantis.
Yes.
And Brak was the one that...
He was like fuzzy and brown, I feel like.
Zorak is such a good call, though. It was such a good character. I'm looking at him now.
Like, no matter what happened, Zorak had the same expression on his face. But it would always look like he was stunned. But like, was he?
Look, if we're gonna be talking about monsters, I'm just gonna say it. There are Godzilla characters that made me gay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
I'm fair. That's fair. If I'm like, listen, now that I'm not judged and I'm in a very safe space with people who are not upset that I think that Zorak is hot, like.
I just realized
I'm gonna have to dig my old art up for you.
Yes, I want to see your.
You will understand you are not being judged.
I kind of talked about this last week where it's like there are certain shows and things where I'm like, I know it deeply affected how fucking queer and weird I am. And I feel like there's a whole series of Nickelodeon cartoons that fall in that line. Ren and Stimpy, Real Monsters. Like there is a striped thing in Real Monsters that I adore and probably had an attraction to her or them. But I think because I was looking it up and I was like, why is she so cute? Why? It's just like the monsters and the weird creatures and the all of it, all of it. Like, yeah,
strong feelings about the noodle.
Yeah, I need to look up her name because now I'm like, because I was like, there are so many cartoons that I watch, but I couldn't really. I couldn't fully identify which ones did certain things for me. But
Angry Beavers for sure. Rocco, I liked Rocco, but I was more identified with Rocco and didn't feel like any particular feeling I identified as Rocco, because Rocco's life was kind of...
Did anyone see the follow-up movie that was released like 20 years after the show ended?
What?
No.
Rocco's Modern Life had a movie.
I feel like I saw that.
The crew made a movie
Oblina.
a few years
Sorry,
ago.
I had to look up her name. Oblina.
So, and it's... So, like, a lot of people way back in the day, like when I was small, would say that Ralph had big trans energy, and then the staff were like, yep, you are correct. The movie is really interesting, though, because specifically, the movie is like, the plot is centered around Rachel's transition. Like, it's a major element. It wouldn't work without her as a character. And
yeah,
like when I was younger and it first came out and I like read news articles about it, I was actually kind of wary, because I haven't had great experiences with trans representation of adult characters, as you can kind of tell from this very live stream.
I remember those cats.
Yeah.
Those cats kept coming around too. It wasn't just one episode. They showed up on multiple episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog. I
was literally just about to say the cat from that red cat from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
See, there are just some cartoons that I never saw, and I don't know if I ever watched Courage.
Don't ask me what it is about red characters that kill things.
Oh, Courage was the business. So Emily...
I recognize, so I watched a little bit. Also, I just looked up that character. Definitely gay. The red cat. The red cat.
Thing is, the reason I got into that show was because of the fact that it was a horror cartoon. It really was I don't know why it was targeted towards kids, because quite literally, like, there are horrifying monsters like trying to attack this dog's family, and he's
go ahead.
to tell them like he keeps trying to warn them, and they just get mad at him. They're like, "Oh, just calm down, Rocco." He's like, like.
Also, so the one that Bunny was dating was a different cat. Her name was Kitty, and that is a beautiful gay episode. That is a very gay episode.
Oh, I think we got a frozen Emily.
We do.
Oh, we do.
Does that mean we're still here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
and I have access to the whole thing, so we're still good.
Proceeds without.
Okay. Did you have the oblongs in there? Did y'all already talk about the oblongs?
We do need to talk about the oblongs.
Okay. So I need y'all to understand that I don't know why I was extraordinarily attracted to me. Like the way that the mom's like hair was like, I don't. And she was just like remarkably, like weirdly, and smoking
the way her
cigarettes.
Wig wasn't glued down?
No. Like she would pull that wig off, like, and be bald.
The confidence.
It gave me like so much confidence and joy, like especially as I got older and wanted to just like cut my hair. I was just like about like the fact that she would just like pull that out. She was always smoking a cigarette. That's probably like one of the reasons I just didn't stop smoking earlier. But like, but she always thought she was fine, and there was something wonderful about that. She was just like,
right, like the just unabashed self-confidence. I was gonna say,
didn't they have the daughter with the?
I'm not gonna say that the oblongs awakened gay feelings in me, but it definitely awakened leftist feelings in me.
Yes, because like there was no reason for them to be like that other than capitalism.
Right,
like their whole family was weird.
The whole thing was like they wouldn't be like this if they could afford to live somewhere that wasn't literally poisoning them. And I was like, wait, that's real life, because I was pretty young when I first watched it.
Yeah.
And I was much less young when I revisited it.
Because, like, I was also back to Adult Swim, Fry.
From Futurama?
Not that Fry, but the Fry from Aqua Teen Hunger Force Fry.
Frylock.
Yeah, Frylock. because he was kind of hot and like.
He was also the only one who ever knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Which to me is usually more attractive than the appearance.
Yeah, I think like that gave me like, for me, I think that's one of those cartoons that made me understand that I was just like attracted to a like person, not to whatever else. Like I was just like, I'm just attracted to the person, because who would be attracted to a talking cartoon fry? Like,
to be fair, he has a nice voice.
He does have a nice voice, and he seems mostly kind. Like he tries to stop Shake from doing all the dumb shit he does. He tries to help Meatwad. Like those two are idiots.
Like he has some semblance of a moral code and ethics compared to the other characters in the show.
Yeah, because like Shake was running around like jacking everything up, like, and Meat was just stupidly following Shake all the time.
That show took years off my life.
They did so many weird things to Carl. And what's weird is Carl turns out to be like one of the oddly most open-minded people that you run across, because he always like kind of dogs on shit, but then like doesn't care that it's actually happening. Like he'll come over and be like, "Oh, you guys having a gay party or what? I want to come." Like it was just, he just never seemed like really taken aback by anything. Like he seemed very much like the
completely
angry,
unshaken.
Yes, because he seemed like he would be like the white guy who was like the old white guy who was like angry at everything, and he was, but like not the things that you would think he'd be angry at. What else do you have on your list?
I have King of the Hill on there, but not for like awakening reasons. More so, this show made me confused and angry, but also pleasantly surprised in a different episode.
Go ahead. Listen, I'm all ears for this, because
there are two like queer episodes of King of the Hill that stand out to me. There's one where Peggy meets a bunch of drag queens, and there's one where Dale finds out that his father's gay, and the latter is actually like surprisingly positive. Like Dale finding out that his father's gay doesn't bother him at all. He was literally only upset because he thought he was a government agent, which is completely on brand. Like once he found out, oh no, he's just actually gay, he's like totally fine. He's super accepting of his father and his partner, and it's like, of all the characters to expect that from.
Yeah,
like,
I feel
also Bobby
with his narrow urethra.
I have a whole video essay I wanted to do before I realized I was going to have a different YouTube channel.
Well, like, you can't even. Okay, listen. I always read Hank and Peggy as a handsome lesbian couple who adopted a child. Leave me alone. That's how I saw it all the time. A very handsome lesbian couple who adopted a hardy child.
There's an episode where they get Hank's gender marker wrong on documents. So I'm just going to put that down as evidence to support your headcanon and walk away.
Like, I was always of the mind. Like, every time I watched it, I was just like, no, because, like, everything that Hank says, just like him and his narrow urethra and how they've been trying for another child. I'm just like, it's just very much like closet, because they're in a small Harlan, Texas. Yeah. So they're in a small town. They can't let everybody know that
I love how they're also in a town that doesn't actually exist.
Thank you.
And also the way
like
the
Arlen's
grandfather
not a real city, by the way,
is like, so like the way the grandfather was so intense, and I feel like especially intense with Bobby. He's like, I can't change them, but I can change the little one. And I'm just like, no, you cannot. Like,
it's so toxic. Bobby though is like so wholesome, and also same voice actor as Pajama Sam. Finally have an excuse to bring that up on your channel. But like Bobby doesn't care about like gender roles, toxic masculinity, traditional masculinity.
None of it.
Doesn't even.
Bobby ran around kicking people. He kicked his own mama in the JJ.
He did.
That was iconic.
But the way she was like.
Also,
this is why they are a lesbian couple, because she's so fucking strong.
Just telling you, Hank and Peggy Hill. That Hank, they are a lesbian couple. I don't care what you say. They adopted Bobby. That's why they could never have any other children, because they would not be able to have Peggy actually look pregnant. And it's a small Texas town. So they were just like, well, we'd like to have more children, but we can't on account of my narrow urethra. See, I'm just saying.
The best.
I also just want to add, and this has nothing to do with the queer episodes of the show. When I was younger, I'm from Texas for context, but when I was younger, I didn't realize that King of the Hill was made by people from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was people mocking Texas. So I didn't watch it until I was 20.
Yeah, Mike says it was a Texas because he first debuted. So Hank Hill and Peggy Hill come from Beavis and Butthead.
I was gonna say, the voices of the characters started in Beavis and Butthead, and then their designs were changed slightly. Carried over to King of the Hill.
Because Boomhauer is the quintessential rural Texan whom you literally cannot if you are from here, you know what they're saying, and that's why it was funny for a lot of us, because there are those Texans who, if you are not from here, you won't know what they're saying. You come from anywhere else. So you're basically looking at everybody else for a context. What the fuck did they just say? And sometimes even we don't really know, but we would pick up on a few mumbles here and there and be like, yeah, no, I hate it when they put corn in everything. You know what I mean? So you just kind of, but they exist. And then the conspiracy theorists Dale always
yes,
they call me Rusty Shackleford, the way that he would to, and you're always just bro, you're all right, let it go.
I was actually going to say this, Natalie, the way Simpson started his shorts in the Tracy. Oh God, I just forgot her last name. Tracy Ullman show. But yes. Oh. this. See, it's
Thank
true.
You.
The episode where Peggy befriends the drag queen, they are taken for a lesbian couple.
They
at first.
are. I forgot about that. The episode where Peggy is mistaken for a drag queen is so awkward from a trans perspective. Also, thank you.
There was some definite awkward energy.
There were some things that were kind of lumped in together that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And it kind of muddied the message a bit. It was really trying.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Hank is super respectful and addresses Jamie's personas separately.
Yeah.
Although I think that might have been by accident, because there's a scene where he's on the phone and he's he literally asks for what's her face's number. So I'm I don't even think he knows they're separate people.
When somebody is so perhaps slow in the uptake that they don't even realize something, and you're just oh.
I mean, my students don't recognize me with my face on, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Good representation from Family Guy was that Quagmire's dad is trans. Bad representation is that she dates Brian the dog.
There is a scene that follows that is no.
Yeah.
Because Quagmire's already problematic. I was just at first I was oh, that's very exciting. They're trying to, and then it just steadily went blip.
It also, the way he handles it at first is so intense. It's if you are trans, I would not recommend investigating the episode, because you will hear things that you've probably heard before.
Yeah. And I think that was weird, because of all characters who should have been understanding and okay with it, it was Quagmire. Because Quagmire was the most. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything.
Yeah.
They also do this thing in that episode that bothers me, where one, they portray GRS as something you get done in a single day, and also like, if she has that much money in, like, I guess she didn't want FFS. But also, hello, transitioning is very expensive. I have a fundraiser that's linked in the description.
It is.
It is.
Also, Ned Flanders is an interesting, like, I don't know.
Ned Flanders was a little, because very Christian,
layers,
but like also, and then the muscles, like that.
Yeah, like
why?
Just.
Am I gonna get you in trouble if I say stupid, sexy Flanders?
No, stupid, sexy Flanders is iconic. You can't get me in trouble anyway. You're good. You're good.
I think we're already demonetized just for everything else I've said.
Stewie is obviously very queer from the jump.
Yeah.
From the very moment we see Stewie, there's always been one thing that I didn't like, and it's the effeminate British ideology that they put onto him for being queer. Because that's been something that's I have not enjoyed in cinema for a very long time. Even before I knew it, I was just always like, why are they like effeminate and British? Like, why would it? Like, it makes it like, yeah, the character's funny or whatever, but like,
it's interesting how there's Stewie, and then even though I didn't watch this show a lot, there's the like the actual alien and American Dad who's also like obviously queer. Like I feel like there's always like that one character, I guess, in Seth MacFarlane characters.
Roger's kind of iconic though, because Roger does
whatever.
Roger,
yes,
without a doubt.
Thank you. Roger is always up to some shit, making some things happen, opening bars. Like, we don't even know what's happening with Roger. Like, all of it is like bad, good, good, bad. Like, all of it has all the wigs. Like, always has good clapbacks. Roger is a queer icon. That's the only, honestly, I swear, that is the only reason I continued to watch American Dad, because it really wasn't for any other character other than Roger, because like Roger was always up to something, and I loved that about Roger. And now, like, I think for Halloween I'm probably going to be like Space Ghost. Coast to coast.
Well, I feel like everyone's
now I can see the comments.
Yeah, that person got blocked. I feel like there was probably like so much in Adult Swim that I'm not remembering. That definitely. Tina. Yes.
Somebody mentioned Bob's Burgers. It's time.
Go for it.
I can talk about cartoons for literally 2 hours. This is why I'm here. The fact that characters in Bob's Burgers have voices across the spectrum, without any explanation, without any justification, no jokes, no nothing, no making fun of them. It's never like there's never a shot taken at it. It's just there. It's part of the universe. It's never acknowledged or explained or mocked or anything. It's wonderful. And like, even with characters who are supposedly cis, like it's just how it is. There's like,
I adore Bob's Burgers, and I always think it's so funny how the same voice that does Bob does Archer. It like blows my mind, and Lana from Archer is definitely a moment for me. But like, it just because like Archer, even though I'm not traditionally attracted to Archer, like. People.
I need to ask, which show did you watch first, and how did it affect the other character for you?
It was Archer and then Bob, and I think it was
for me. It was the other way around.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, that would be weird.
That's so like, weird.
That's a weird.
This is Burger Bob.
Yeah,
doing all these things.
Is that he is like the voice actor is more reminiscent of Bob than of Archer. So I think when I actually saw him, I was like, "That's not Archer. No."
Yeah, like because he just kind of looks like he smokes a lot of J and like I feel like he might smell slightly of bong water. It's like there's just something about his aura that gives like bong water and like H. John Benjamin.
The voice actor.
Yes.
But I do think their crossover episode is really good. Yes, that's where I was like, okay, I see it. But yeah, but Bob's Burgers is just like perfection in some ways.
I love Louise and I like want to be Louise so bad, but I'm really Tina and that's okay.
Yeah, same.
I think part of the success of the show is that a lot of us are Tina.
Yeah.
And we're like,
especially
we see somebody that's like us.
Because like everything that she does is just very like I have all these random clips for, obviously for my usage, just for good times. And also like not those good times, don't get weird, but also for like YouTube, like I'll like
for editing good times. That's what you're saying. Yes.
Yes.
I love it. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else.
Thorn has like a whole ass list of
keep going.
Oh yeah, we're getting through it. Who here has seen Superjail? And if you have, my condolences.
Wait, what is it?
Superjail.
Oh,
did you say Riverdale?
Superjail.
Oh no, I'll be right back. I gotta think.
Layer upon layer upon layer.
Your face, you're just like.
I feel pain. I mean, not because of the dental surgery. Okay, so because here's the thing, like as an art student, Superjail is like, wow, animation quality. I have to watch all of this. But if you turn the sound on, it's not fun anymore. And it's
I'm like looking it up because I'm like, do I know that?
There's a trans character, and then also the warden is fucking gay. Don't even get probably no. The warden is fucking pan.
Okay, I've definitely seen this in like Adult Swim bingey nights, but I don't I think I blocked it out of my brain.
It's incredibly violent, and I do not like it.
Yeah,
but I've seen a lot of it.
That's always the funniest thing to me when I'm like, why have I seen so much of something that I don't okay,
it's one of those things that was like, one, like as someone who formerly wanted to go into animation, it was like, wow, this is a really high frame rate. This is like lovingly hand drawn. I'm gonna take notes. And then the other thing was like it would come on back when I had a TV in my room, back when I watched TV. It would come on while I was falling asleep because I needed like something to drown the sounds in the hallway out. God. I'd be falling asleep to something like super tame, like King of the Hill, and then I'd wake up because Superjail came on.
Oh no! Yeah, that seems like a bad thing to fall asleep to, or be woken up by.
So, like in the Google Doc that I drafted for this, it literally just says under 2000s cartoons, Superjail. Oh Lord, no! Please no! I didn't even write anything for this one. The only trans character is like a horrendous stereotype in every way. There are a lot of like queer coded characters, and that's a conversation that somebody else could probably lead. But I just run out of energy after thinking about it for 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, especially when a show already has that much that's going on, where it's like, do I even want to get that deep into it? Like, no. Like, yes and no.
Also, like, after learning the difference between jail and prison, the title now bothers me.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't really
work.
It's
Cecily, right. The twins are also, like, not human, though.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to like refresh, and I was struggling with Bo to get my spot back. So the stranger in the camera because of fighting with him.
Bo is perfect, and I love him.
Bo is a perfect monster in all the best ways.
The document, I have the Powerpuff Girls, and I think we actually talked about this a bit in your... someone else who we both know was talking about this.
Oh.
And I don't remember if you saw it or not, talking about how the Powerpuff Girls handled queerness just in general.
I don't know if I know, like...
this happened like a while back, and I can't even remember what social media site it was.
Huh.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Oh, I will never ever forget about SNL.
The ambiguously gay duo. Oh gosh, if I didn't think it would demonetize you, I would put an image up. But like, I think...
I mean, we made it this far.
I've done.
We made it this far. Hold on. But I don't know if I know like about the Powerpuff Girls in terms of like
no, I don't
bad or whatever.
One of the main villains is a combination of transmisogynist and homophobic tropes.
Oh yeah,
but also really hot.
Ooh. Oh,
and this is a problem.
It is a problem. You show right.
I mean, it's the same deal with Grell. And look where that took me.
You know what? I did remember hearing about that because that is somebody that has been cosplayed. And just like very randomly. Hold on. I'm going to actually give you the...
Because if you want to look hot, it's a cosplay to do.
Yeah. And then like people started talking about it and I was like, yeah.
While you're grabbing that up, I'm also going to show you how the ambiguously gay duo flew.
Yes.
Okay. They flew like that.
But again, stuff like this, I'm always just like, I don't know how I feel. And that's literally,
yep.
You can buy their car bobblehead.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that was their mode of transportation when they weren't flying on top of each other. So there is that.
They were flying on top of each other. I mean, finished with life. Like
you're like, I'm done. Yeah, I need to like
the other thing.
Yeah, so the car. Everybody's like, go ahead, Thorn. What were you gonna say?
I basically tried to say 5 things at once, so it's good that I stopped. But like, yeah, it is a cosplay that people do if they want to look hot and tell people that they're queer. But also, like, the part where his voice like hits the floor when he's pissed off is like, it's both like a common homophobic trope and a common transmisogynistic trope, and it's also something that they did a lot with Grell a few times in the show, and I
because
really want cartoons to stop doing that.
Yeah, because like I also did not, for obvious reasons, did not like Mojo Jojo. So
yeah,
that was a thing. I was like, wait a minute, y'all, hold up now.
We lost Emily again.
I know we lost him. So like poor Emily. Like so for those of you that don't know, there's like storms hitting the Gulf Coast right now. So it does affect the interwebs, the internets. Oh my God, Sherry. Okay. On Flux. I used to watch that and literally would make sure that my bedroom door was closed and like locked because I was like, listen, this is sassy. I just didn't want to get caught watching it because it seemed a little, because like, and like everything was all, I'm just going to use sound effects. Like,
Diva also brings something really good up. And again, I also have a 45-minute video in progress about this.
Yeah.
The thing about growing queer from the 80s up until now is that we latch on to really bad representation because it's the only representation we have.
Mm-hmm.
Hence Grell.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the city because I don't want people finding me, but I was basically locally famous for cosplaying Grell literally every year at 2 specific anime conventions. Probably going to do it if once ever. I know what words are. Whenever that convention is able to safely happen again.
Yeah. Hey, we should probably let you.
I know. I was like, I was good for like 2 hours. I guess we'll be fine. And then no, not
That's
so
okay.
much.
You're like, listen, you are like surviving storms at this point. So it's not like this will ever end. This will continue. We will just continue talking about varying characters. I think like maybe next time we could actually talk about like because Thorn had a very good list that we could actually talk about like good and bad representation of queer characters, especially for me. Like mine is always like horror. Spoiler alert, most of the queer representation is bad in horror. Most of it is bad. Not even just being a queer person, but also kink is also represented poorly. And horror is my favorite genre, but like I have to admit that like, that was some because here's the thing. On one hand, it introduced me to like, hey, I like the kink part. But on the other,
that's a good.
like,
that's a yes.
Is that a flutter in my nethers? I think so. But there's the other side of it where it's just like oftentimes anyone who was trans or gay was treated as some kind of like weird offshoot like bad person, but they also tended to be bumbling idiots or not very intelligent or like the side part of the like demon, the bad crew. And that was, and still in a lot of ways continues to be true. And so I'm consistently hoping that will change because Bert and Ernie, everybody knows they're a couple. That's just.
Yeah. I just love this whole like X media made me gay, or like, let's talk about like representation in media, because I feel like it's just never ending.
Yes, that reminds me of something I wanted to bring up is I love saying it borderline unironically because I love how upset a lot of people get when I'm like, cartoons made me trans.
That's what I say about Disney. I'm like, Disney made me pan.
I'm like, I watched Ren and Stimpy as a child. I was not going to be normal by any means. Like, I loved it. Like,
yeah, I mean, I knew
shit,
like was up with that whole beast
on
thing.
Disney.
Yeah, no, Disney is a whole other.
That could be a whole.
You know what? We could do a whole other stream.
Like the Disney, because listen, that whole thing, I'm never gonna forget how fucking disappointed I was watching Beauty and the Beast. And when I saw what I was like, why would you want to be that like pink hairless piece of shit when you were a literal god? Get the fuck out.
He looked wall-eyed too. Like the animators didn't think he was hot, so they didn't draw him hot.
Thank you.
The animators thought the monster was prettier and more attractive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very obviously so.
Yeah.
I just had a real
tender loving care he was drawn with.
Yes.
I just had a slight realization about the genie. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's Pride Month.
To this next week.
Yeah, it's Pride Month. We are going to be like having some Pride fun. If you're also available, then Thorn, we definitely invite you along for that party because this is so much more fun with you in it.
Here has gone down by then.
Yes,
I don't even notice because your makeup execution is flaw fucking less. Yes. Beast the chat is a sad transformation.
Thank you all for being here and being amazing. Thank you so much, Thorn, for being on. And truly the invite stands like for Disney, for any of these conversations, because I love this. And like, we'll keep having these conversations beyond June, but like right now, the monetization stuff is staying good. So I think YouTube is like, we're going to let you have this during Pride Month.
I will say, after I specifically was a controversy with YouTube, I think they've backed off a little.
Good.
I'm not saying I started it, but I think me complaining enough to YouTube partner support because they gave me the email address that I'm not supposed to have because I only have a little under 200 subscribers. I pulled their ears so much about this. I did not let up. And they were like, okay, you shouldn't see this again. This isn't going to happen again. And I tested it. Like, I combined the same keywords and factors that led to my video getting, accidentally deleted. It's not happening anymore. And as far as I can tell, they're trying to keep, not that to me again. For context, for anyone who doesn't know, YouTube personally, not unlisted, but deleted one of my videos, like the entire thing, permanently deleted from YouTube. They sent me a warning. They were like, this violates the child safety policy. You've done something terribly wrong, and we're just going to get rid of your entire video. You have 7 days to respond. And so I made a tweet about it, and that was the first time I went viral this year. Out of 3. It became a whole controversy, and I got an email personally delivered to me from YouTube staff that was basically denying that anything happened at first. And so I responded and I was like, okay, could I have like a Zoom call with someone to actually describe what happened then? And they were like, no. You can have a phone call, but you can't have a Zoom call. And I was like, no, I want a Zoom call because I want you to show up on my channel telling everyone what you did. They did not take the bait. But what the problem was before they fixed it was if you had certain LGBT keywords in association with children's games, which are a thing that I used to talk about a lot on my channel before I pivoted entirely to technology and makeup. If you combined keywords like trans in Mario, it would trigger like a system that would normally get sent to human beings, but because of the pandemic, it doesn't go to people, it just goes to a computer. The bot decided that I was violating the child safety policy by being trans while playing a video game meant for children and deleted the entire video.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they have.
I'm glad you fought the good fight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a good fight. I'm glad you fought the fight. Let me rephrase that.
And I will admit, that was the one thing that I did want on my Twitter to get that much attention. The thing about me going to the dentist and having a bad time, I did not want to get 80,000 likes. It just
That's just a bad time, though. Like that.
I don't go viral because I am the disease.
Also, you just talking about that, Thorn, made me realize I didn't even venture into video games and how they might have. That's another stream then we'll have to do because
you're going to have me on your channel so much.
Yes.
I'm going to be a recurring annoyance up here.
Because I love these conversations, and because it's been going on for this long, we're gonna finish this up. They've been sprinkling in, but we're gonna sign off for now. Don't forget, please go follow Thorn and all the socials. Subscribe on YouTube. If you have check out their fundraiser. If you can donate, please do. If you can't or whatever, share it out because it's super important to us. We talked about Thorn last week, and we got emotional last week. We're not going to do it again this week, but thank you so much for being on, Thorn. Seriously, so happy to have you.
Come in.
Perhaps, I don't know. It happened at the end of the stream, and so y'all should.
I think I was awake for that one because I went upstairs and I told my roommate, I was like, I need a minute to just have emotions.
Have emotions.
I gotta go take a hot shower and put salve on all these mosquito bites because they are after me. It's not nice.
So don't forget to like the stream. Thank you all for being here. If you're watching our replay, thank you so much.
And regarding the fundraiser, I am posting intermittent video updates, one of which I recorded before the live stream because I got ready an hour early by accident.
Yay!
I did it too.
Welcome to the club, and have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for everyone for being here, and we will see you next week. Bye.